how did we even get here? Why are you doing music? Obviously, we know you come from a legendary family of musicians. For y'all that don't know, this is the daughter of the legendary Ernie Isley from the Isley Brothers. But besides that, like, tell us about your upbringing in music, your influences, and how they shaped your sound.
I was just always surrounded by music, and on both sides of the family. And so R&B is my foundation, but then also on my mom's side, my maternal grandmother, she sang opera for years. And then when she retired, she became a voice teacher. And I was one of her students. She started training me from 12 all the way up until I graduated from college.
So you're trained classically?
Trained classically, yes.
Wow.
And she really instilled the importance of the technical side and knowing the technical side, because longevity is a goal of mine in this business. And so I want to take care of my voice as best as I can. And, you know, I can warm up a little more than I should. But I'm just really grateful for my grandmother and everything she, you know, planted in me.
I can hear it now that you're sitting here talking so softly. Like, you gotta preserve that voice, because I want you to use it for the rest of your life too. Okay?
Yes. So, but yeah, I've just been always surrounded by music constantly.
Yeah.
So seeing my dad and uncles perform when I was little is very much normal.
You heard that, dad and uncles, because she's related to all of them.
They're brothers.
That's funny. Yeah, that's
She's related to all of
which
them.
one are you related to? I'm like, all of them. They're actually brothers for real.
Real brothers.
And they got down
brothers.
because they used to dress. You know, I always
Not used
think
to. You
of.
didn't see that versus used to.
Oh, you're right. Not used to. However,
Still to this
I
day.
always think of that one picture. There's like this iconic picture of them like posted like way back in the day, and they was like, how many of them you think got knives on them? Like they like come on, guys.
Oh my
You know what I'm saying? Like that one.
What is
Anyways,
that like though? Like, do you feel pressure when your family is literally both sides? Do you feel any pressure? Like, what drives you even wanting to have a career in music when you see it all from your family? I'm guessing there's no pressure then.
Honestly, the pressure is internal, because
It's more from
as I've gotten
yourself.
older, I've come to understand like what their legacy means. And so that's all been just from me and what I feel like I want to address in my career. But they've always been so supportive and so proud. And I'm proud of, you know, to be a part of the lineage and, you know, always proud of my family. So
I will say, you know, when you deal with a lot of like, or not even deal with, when you listen to legendary musicians and they have a relative, whether it's a child, a sibling, a nephew, a niece, a cousin, they don't always have the talent that should be pushed. But I can say with like people like you, like some people don't know that you come from the Isley Brothers, you know? And I think that is a big deal. And it just shows like, I don't want to be specific and give names, but yeah, like you created your own lane. It has nothing to do with what your dad and uncles
honestly,
did.
one of my favorite non-problematic or unproblematic Nepo babies. You up there with Tracy Ellis Ross, as far as I'm concerned, of unproblematic Nepo babies.
No,
like,
honestly,
for real.
there's a lot. And you like, why are we listening to why are their music playing on the radio? Why are they at the BET Awards? Why are they at the Grammys? It's like, there's no talent. If your daddy wasn't so-and-so, your mama wasn't this person, you wouldn't be there. But I never, ever thought that about you. I honestly thought that you just liked the name or something. I'm like, maybe
it's a nice last name. Yeah.
We sent the, one pager in the group chat yesterday, and our boss was like, oh, I didn't know that she was affiliated with the Isley Brothers. I'm like, hello? Like,
that just goes to show, like, it's a testament for your talent and what you're doing. Like, it's amazing.
Speaking of that talent and what you're doing, if there are people out there who have never heard of a song by Alex Isley, what would you say are 3 songs that would be like the perfect intro to you?
I would say Into Orbit for sure. That's one of my older songs, but it still gets so much love and great reception. So I would say Into Orbit. I would say probably Mine, that I did with Jack Dine, and then probably another one, maybe About Him, either About Him or Good and Plenty. So
About Him,
either one will work. Either one will work. Everything on the Essential playlist that's on Apple Music. Just go play the entire thing. But while we're on the subject of collaboration, how did that come about with Jack Dine, and how do you pick who you're going to work with, and how does that how do you navigate that? Because I know it's difficult to work with a lot of artists, and everybody doesn't think the same way. And before that, I know you were producing a lot of your own stuff on your own, right?
Yeah, I had produced everything with the exception of I have a song "Road to You," which was produced by the genius D Mile, but I am a firm believer in God's timing and placement, and for me, as far as who I work with and the spaces that I'm in, I feel like I'm led by God to be where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
But as far as Jack, I was slightly familiar with his name a few years ago, and I recognized the names of the artists he worked with, and I liked those artists. So I met him 2019, like May 2019, and I was just like, well, let's just see what happens. And we liked that first session, and then we had like a standing weekly session, and then he was like, we should put out a project. We should do like a joint thing.
God,
I was
y'all
like,
did.
okay. So then that we did Wilton. We dropped that in November 2019, and then followed up with Marigold in the middle of the pandemic and everything else. Yeah,
Wow.
it's such a great creative partner. He is one of one.
Yeah.
And
sometimes
let's
things
not
just
forget about
happen like that.
Terrence.
Terrence Martin.
Terrence Martin.
Another great collab.
Yes.
I left my heart and lived there. And that's why I was like, I don't think that she claims New Jersey. 'Cause I'm like, I've heard too many songs. I'm like, she talking about La Brea
Real
on this,
West
I'm like,
Coast.
down La Brea, about to turn on Crenshaw. I'm like,
Yeah.
ain't no way. You be talking about some New Jersey streets if
Listen,
that's what you claim.
I wish I was more familiar with Jersey. We moved out here when I was 2, and my mom is born and raised LA, so this is all I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm an
Real
honorary
West
LA
West.
native.
Shout out to the
Real
West Coast. for
Yeah.
real.
I love that project though. My cousin plays it nonstop.
Oh, thank you,
So
thank you.
It's great. How did that come about though? You and Terrence Martin.
Terrace and I, I'm going back to when we met. We met at a jam session, I think, like 2012. He was like, I want to work together.
musician
Let's
stuff.
do some music. And we just kept saying that for a few years. We need to do something. We need to do something. And then just everything finally aligned. I think 2018, we started crafting the music for that album. And then as we were getting into our flow and we had a few joints down, the pandemic happened and then the shutdown. So we had to take a pause on that. But Terrace is such a legendary West Coast, but he's global. He's a mentor. He's like a big brother figure to me. He's always so supportive of me and my art, and just always drops gems and always encourages me. And so, yeah, Terrace, he's special.
You could tell, you could hear it in the music, the relationship that y'all
Yeah.
have. It sounds great.
Thank you.
But
It's really grounding. And
yeah,
like, I don't know. It like carries.
and it feels good.
Feels good, yeah.
It's
Thank you.
I need to hurry up and get my 64 Impala and put the top down so I can ride around. Listen, that's the type of music it is. But while we on the pandemic though, I know you're independent. So talk about like just staying motivated and keeping yourself working during like a time like the pandemic, and even now when there's so many new lanes for independent artists to go. Just talk about that and keeping yourself afloat.
Being independent has been great, but there's going to be challenges with anything. And I think spearheading everything is great, but then on the other side, you're spearheading everything. And so, there's a lot of moving parts. But having a support system around me, my mother especially, she is, she encouraged me to produce my own music. I didn't have that vision for myself. She encouraged me to, or taught me about the importance of a PRO and owning your own masters and owning your publishing and all of that. So, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
You good.
Also, especially being a mom, during the pandemic, I was reminding myself, like, we don't know what this is or where this is going. Just take care of yourself so that you can take care of your daughter.
Right.
So that's what I was telling myself. And just, I had to just relax in the unknown as much as I could and not force myself to be productive and be like, it's okay. We're figuring life out literally. So you don't have to be working.
And good things come from the unknown too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Obviously.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now,
R&B only.